Hey, what is going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for the biggest preview of the season so far. Probably the second biggest preview. The biggest one will be the next time we play Ipswich. But I'm very happy to introduce an Ipswich fan along to the channel. I don't think I've ever said that before. But this is a genuinely nice person. It's Benjamin Bloom off of YouTube and also from the Blue Monday podcast. Ben, it is a pleasure to have you on the channel. How are you?
I'm lovely, yeah. I think we were discussing this off air. I'm in the kind of okay mode before Derby Day. I'm going to start feeling sick. It's going to tail off a little bit, and then whatever happens is going to happen.
It is a strange cycle, isn't it? That lead up to a derby, the complete overconfidence, the stage where you don't think you can continue in life, and then the stage where it's all over and you look back and go, actually, it wasn't that much of a big deal. But this Sunday, it's the first time we play each other this season. In terms of previous seasons, it's quite late, this first East Anglian Derby. But much like ourselves, it's been an up and down season for you guys so far. Just talk us through how it's gone for you guys down at Portman Road and away from home this season so far.
Well, the context is that we had a terrible season last year. We finished 16th. We drew a load of games that all fizzled out. It was really crap. Loads of people didn't renew their season tickets. Lots of people wanted McCarthy out. Evans still hated. And then all of a sudden in the summer, they dropped the season ticket prices. They did some charity stuff. They signed Joe Garner, Martin Waghorn, Emma Hughes, Jordan Spence, Selena on loan. Bit more optimism, but those people who were anti-McCarthy are still anti-McCarthy. And then the season starts, and we have this ridiculous run of 5 wins, won the first 5 games. But the caveat to that being that it was kind of everything went right in those 5 games that could have possibly gone right. I think we literally scored every shot we had as well. And it's regressed to a more kind of Ipswich type standard for the past 6 defeats in the last 8 games. But we haven't been that terrible. And the thing I want to draw your attention to is the gap is smaller. At 14-15 in the playoffs, we were never going to beat you. It's never going to happen, was it? You had a way better squad, Premier League players. And the gap is the smallest it's been for a long while. And for 6 minutes, we actually had the lead in the last game. I felt sick for all 6 minutes, but that's about the size of it now. The big thing as well before Sunday is that Joe Garner gets back. If you're sat up in that stand on Sunday and you don't see Joe Garner running out, you should be pleased with that because he's a fiery chap.
Yeah, I mean, it is strange, isn't it? Because I think that gap has kind of lessened, as you said, and I want to try and come at this from a completely, well, the least amount of bias kind of standpoint as possible. But I think when you guys were in that rich vein of form, when you'd won 5 in a row, the Norwich argument was, well, this isn't going to last. I think, like you said, it was a ridiculous stat in terms of you'd literally scored like 7 goals from 9 shots or something ridiculous. It's probably not a stat that's completely true, but it was something like that. And
it was close. It was close, yeah.
Yeah, and since then, I suppose the trend has gone the way Norwich fans expected in terms of you haven't been able to beat teams above you. So I know form completely does go out of the window going up to a derby, but I suppose looking at it from a statistical point of view, Norwich do go into this game the favourites.
If it was at Carrow Road, with the league positions like it was, you'd make Norwich definite favourites. I think the home advantage counts for something, although you'll come back and say, well, Norwich are actually better away from home than they are at home at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know, the bookies are very rarely wrong. I suspect they'd have Norwich short favourites, wouldn't they? With a draw quite tasty odds and Ipswich a bit further up. Really, it depends. Look, if the crowd actually decide to get behind the Ipswich team and we start well, and we, God forbid, like every single time we don't concede to your first shot, it might go well. Look, if you score after 1 minute, it's going to be a long day, yeah? So, favourites, I don't know. There's not much in it, though, is there?
I mean, that's an interesting point you raise there in terms of the fans. What is the kind of general mood around the club? Because I think that does pay a massive difference and makes a massive difference. Because Norwich fans are coming into this slightly refreshed. We've got a new manager. We've got new kind of people on the board, and things are looking a bit rosier than they were when we played you last season under Alex Neil, when everything had got a bit stale and a bit horrid. What's the kind of general mood with not only McCarthy but with Evans and things like that? Because the atmosphere does have a big difference, whatever anyone says.
Well, it was really nasty last season. I joked that it was 2 goals. It was always 2 goals away from booing, and then it started to become 1 goal away from... You know, if we were at home and we went down half-time by 1 goal, you know, it wasn't good. And then I remember away at Fulham last year, there was some nasty chance, but purely on the basis that was the only chance the fans had to actually speak for McCarthy to hear what they were saying. It's been better this season. You know, there's been stuff to be excited about. Unfortunately, you have got a lot of people there who, unless one or other of Mick McCarthy or Marcus Evans, particularly Marcus Evans, is not there, then they're not having it. You know, so and remember, this is Norwich as well. So a Norwich goal is worth 2 goals by any other team. Yeah,
is that how it works? Is it?
Look, yeah. If the players think, you know what English football fans are like. If someone runs in and does a hard tackle, everybody cheers, don't they? If the players are seen to be up and at them, you know, people like Chambers and Nuts and Adeyemi, Garner particularly, Garner can get the whole crowd going just by bashing into Closer or who will it be, Zimmerman, one of those guys at the back, you know, then he'll get them going. But it's on a knife edge, yeah.
That's interesting here. I suppose that the other interesting thing I always like to kind of gauge is what's the Ipswich fans' perspective. And I know we're trying to be unbiased here, but from a kind of constructive standpoint, what's the Ipswich fans' viewpoint on Norwich City this season? What do you expect from us, and what have you thought of us so far?
Well, obviously, complete jealousy from like the last however long. We would have swapped positions in a heartbeat. Honestly, the Schadenfreude thing, what a lot of Ipswich fans would have wanted is so Huddersfield went up with a German guy, Norwich got a German guy, everyone wants that to fail and for them to fall flat on their face. We're realistic. For 6 or 7 years, every time you've played us, you've had better players and a better team. But like I say, the gap's a bit close. When you lost 4-0 at Millwall, you're kind of thinking, man, is this gonna all go wrong? And then it's all, you know, all looking to have gone in the right direction. You've shored up the defence. I think most Ipswich fans are less. This is a terrible thing. It'll probably be 5-1 again now. Are less scared than they have been.
Okay. But that's still, you know, from the amount you were scared in previous years. Does less scared mean you're still pretty terrified, or does that mean?
Yeah, look, you're always scared of getting turned over at home by Norwich, aren't you? It's just that Nathan Redmond is not there. John Ruddy is not there. I'm trying to think who else was in that team. Howson, Johnson, proper good, just better players than, you know, all been sold for big fees and stuff. And although these new guys, just because we don't know who they are and they've come from, you know, Germany or whatever, you told me all about Tribal, good players as well. So of course you're scared, aren't you? It's your rivals and you don't want to get turned over, and you're having good results. So the table don't lie, does it? No,
that's true. I mean, we've already chatted for 9 minutes, so I urge any of my followers here, if you want a really in-depth viewpoint, go over to the Blue Monday podcast. I'm going to link that in the description. Let's just get your quick prediction. Now, I didn't give you a prediction on your podcast, but I do want a prediction from you, a score prediction. I don't want you to beat around the bush. Straight up score prediction, and scorers as well. Give me the scorers.
Can I give you some options, Jack?
No.
Look, Joe Garner will either score or get sent off.
Okay, right.
Okay. Norwich, there's a 92% chance Norwich will score with their first shot. So hopefully that first shot won't be until 75 minutes. Look, I think you're better against teams that are going to come onto you and have in their head that they're better than you, right? we're managed by Mick McCarthy, so we don't assume that we're going to outplay anybody. I hope we play a 4-2-3-1, and I hope Adeyemi's in there with Skews and we get about the midfield. And I hope McGoldrick has a good day. You've got to look after McGoldrick. I hope Tribal is too busy trying to play and McGoldrick catches him out in that 10 area, defensive midfield area. But if what you tell me about Tribal is true, then McGoldrick's not going to have a kick anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. Christ. I think we could win by 1. We could win by 1 if we have a good game. We need to shut you out by the first half. I can't predict that you're going to beat us. I can't do that. I can't come on here and do that. So let me say Ipswich by 1. But look, come on, this is a realistic Ipswich fan. And, if you give me... let me ask you, you wouldn't take this, would you? If you said to most Ipswich fans, you'll win the home game and lose the away game, most of them would go, fine, we'll take that, But I think we could do it by 1.
Okay, all right. I'll take that. I'll take that. Anyway, go and check out the podcast that me and Ben recorded over on the Blue Monday podcast. Links in the description, and also go and check out your YouTube channel, Benjamin Bloom on YouTube, where you do the match reviews. So hopefully it's going to be a very gloomy one on Sunday for you, and hopefully it's going to be.
That'll get more views. So
well, that's true.
Everyone's a winner. Eh?
You can tell this man's only in it for the YouTube ad revenue. So go over there and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. There's going to be loads of content this week leading up to the big game on Sunday. And see you later.